Hey guys, welcome to the 3 of 7 project range. I'm super excited to talk about this new weapon system that we have out here called the Springfield Hellcat. I really like this weapon. I like a lot of things about it, and I think that it is a viable option for a concealed carry weapon. Now, why was I looking for something like this? First of all, if you guys don't know, I'm an ultra runner. So most of the time when I'm out in town, I am wearing running shorts. I wanted to find something that was small enough and light enough to wear with my running shorts. This hit the spot for that. I've actually been hiking the last 3 days with this weapon concealed in my running shorts, and it carries really great. Now, when I was looking for a concealed carry weapon that I could wear in my running shorts, I was torn between this Hellcat and the Glock 43, all right? I compared them side by side in the gun store. I went with the Hellcat for one reason. You guys know I'm a Glock, really big time Glock guy. I went with the Hellcat because of the magazine capacity, all right? The Hellcat and the Glock 43 come in at the exact same weight, about 18 ounces. I think the mag capacity for the 43 was 6 rounds, I think. The Hellcat actually has a lot of options to get a lot of rounds in this little bitty weapon. I have a 15 round mag, a 13 round mag, and an 11 round mag. I can get 16 total rounds in this small little weapons platform, and let me tell you, mag capacity is a super important feature to me in terms of a weapon. So we're going to go through this thing here in just a minute. I'm going to tell you all the good, the bad, and the ugly. I want to let you know, when we look at weapons and when we test weapons out here, we are very objective. We are not gun enthusiasts, all right? I did 12 years in the SEAL teams. My entire life has revolved around working with these tools that we call firearms. So we're looking at these objectively. We're looking at the features of the weapon that actually need to work, that are important, okay? Don't care anything about how the weapon looks, all right? Even though this is a pretty good looking gun in my opinion. So let's dig into the Hellcat. First thing, we'll talk about the mag well. Nothing special about the mag well. It's not flared, it's nothing crazy about it. Again, you want a nice clean mag well that's low profile. You wouldn't want a flared mag well on a concealed weapon, so it is what it is. Nothing crazy special about it. Moving up from there, talking about the grip. The grip on this Hellcat is one of my favorite features, probably my second favorite feature of the Hellcat. They have actually created almost a sandpaper texture grip on this Hellcat. In my opinion, it is superior to the Glock grip, all right? And it just is tacky. It feels like sandpaper. When you're actually carrying this concealed, when I'm wearing my running shorts and I feel this rub against my skin, you know it's there, all right? It's rough texture, which is a good thing. You want to be able to keep a nice, good grip, especially on these smaller weapons. The texture of the grip is really important. You can see they also textured up here where your thumb would ride, and then out here on the frame where your finger sits. I don't know why they put that there. It means nothing to me. Probably put it there because it's cool and gun enthusiasts like to see stuff like that. I don't know. But grip is great, all right? Trigger well. Trigger well is sufficient. Nothing special about it. Again, this is a concealed carry weapon, so trigger well is big enough to get your finger in. Even if you had a glove on, I don't think you would have any problem with that. While we are talking about the trigger well, let's talk about the actual trigger. Now, testing this beside the Glock 43, I do want to tell you that the Glock has a better trigger than this Springfield Hellcat. It's a very similar trigger. You see, it's the same as the Glock. You have the trigger safety right there. It comes back to a nice wall, all right? So you come back to a nice wall, but once you get to that wall, you've got a lot of creep in that trigger before you send that firing pin forward. It just is not as crisp as the Glock trigger, so I would go ahead and say that is a poor feature of this Hellcat, is the trigger. It could be done better. Now, it being a concealed weapon, the trigger should be heavier than on most normal weapons because there are no other safeties other than that trigger safety. But I just feel like once you get back to that wall, there's a lot of creep in that trigger. All right, so you'd have to really get comfortable with that. Definitely a poor part of this weapon. Now, while we're down here, we'll talk about the magazine release. The magazine release button is sufficient, all right? Now, it's nice and smooth, which is great for a concealed carry weapon if you're carrying this against your body. You don't want a magazine release button that's sticking way out and it's gonna be bothersome over time. It is big enough that I don't have any issues getting on that magazine release button and getting those empty mags out during my mag changes, which you'll see here on the range here in just a minute. Moving up to the slide. My least favorite part about the Hellcat is the slide, particularly the texture here on the back of the slide, all right? I do not know why they did that. That is just laziness. It's a poor design. It is not enough texture to manipulate the slide, all right? I work off the back of my gun. We'll talk about that on another video, but this texture that they put here on the back of the slide is not aggressive enough to keep my hand from slipping off the slide. I have really, really strong hands, all right? We've been out here on the range today shooting this thing and it's hot. Hands get a little sweaty. I have actually had some trouble racking this slide and loading the weapon. This is extremely poor. I could see this as being a really, really poor design feature, especially for a female, all right, or someone who doesn't have really strong hands. This is a critical feature of a weapon, is that texture right there on the back of the slide to manipulate the weapon. All right, very, very poor job on that. Don't like it at all. It is optics ready, but I would not put an optic on this gun because hands down, my favorite feature of the weapon are the sights. All right, the sights that come on this weapon out of the box are probably some of my favorite iron sights that I have ever used. You've got a big U-shaped rear sight and you have a big night sight on the front, big dot with green and it's just colorful and it nests right down into that U-shape. Super, super accurate. I was hitting silhouettes with these sights straight out of the box at about 50 yards with this little gun. That's impressive. I would not change anything about these sights. As a matter of fact, I am going to probably put similar sights to this on my other weapons just because I like them so much. All right, so that's the slide. Sights awesome. Grip here on the back, unsat. Don't know why Springfield did that. Stupid decision. Grip, very textured. Trigger, subpar. Magazine release button, good to go. Plenty of size to get your thumb on that, do your mag changes. Last thing we'll talk about, we got a little window right here on the top of the slide to check your chamber to see if there's a round in the chamber or not. I think that's a silly feature. If I ever didn't know the condition of my weapon, I would simply pull the slide back enough to get a press check, get good eyes on the weapon and the round in the chamber or not. That little window is fairly useless. It's kind of hard to see down into it, especially when you're shooting steel case, black steel cased ammo. The little window is freaking useless, all right? Talking about disassembly real quick of the weapon. Super simple, lock the slide to the rear. You got a lever right here. You move it up, drop the slide, just like a Glock. You pull the trigger, slide comes off. Clean design, nothing crazy. Looks very similar to all other striker fire pistols out there. No crazy springs exposed. I think it's just a nice, clean, functional design. Super easy to get apart, blow out, wipe down. Easy day to reassemble. Simply slide the slide to the rear, flip your lever down, send your slide home, do your function check. All right, listen for the click, good to go. Price of this weapon. Another problem I have with the Hellcat, it's about a $600 weapon, all right? I do not think this is built quality enough to justify a $600 price point. You can tell when you've shot weapons long enough when you have a quality gun in your hand. I think this is a quality weapon. I don't think it's $600 worth of quality. I don't think that much attention to detail and craftsmanship went into this gun. I just think that's a super, super high price point for a little small micro concealed carry weapon. You can even see some of the quality issues on the weapon. We have a couple hundred rounds through this and you can already see some of the bluing that's starting to wear off the barrel as the slide cycles, and we're already getting that half moon wear on the top of our barrel. That to me is just it's just poor quality. You can see it too right here on the top of the chamber. You can see some of the bluing starting to wear off the chamber right there as the slide cycles. That just tells me, I don't know. I just don't like that. If I'm paying top dollar for a weapon, I expect it to still look pretty much brand new after just a couple hundred rounds. So I think there's an issue with that. Talk about the magazines real quick. All right. I told you we have a 15 round mag, 13 round mag, and a 10 round mag. What I will tell you about these magazines is they are hard to load. I mean, extremely difficult to load. This 15 round mag, when you get 13 rounds in there, you better have some strong thumbs to get those last 2 rounds in, all right? Show you what they look like. Because they are so tight and so hard to load, when this mag is full, it's really hard to get it to seat in that magazine well, all right? You really gotta hit it. I only have 14 rounds in here right now. I think this is a 14 round mag, not a 15 round mag. But when you got 15, man, you gotta really slam that thing home to get it to seat. There's what the 15 rounder looks like. You got a nice full grip. 13 rounder is a little less length on the grip, but still enough to get your fingers around. Here is your 11 rounder, nice and short. All right, still enough to wrap your pinky finger around if you have my size hands. Any bigger than this, your pinky's gonna hang off the bottom of this weapon. But for me, it works great. So we're gonna take this thing out on the range and put it through its paces. We've had 0 malfunctions out of this weapon so far. Hopefully out on the range, it performs for you guys and for us like it has been up to this point. 0 malfunctions, we're shooting all steel case, aluminum case ammo. So if it's gonna mess up, it's gonna mess up here in just a minute. All right, guys, we're out here. We are going to run this Springfield Hellcat through its paces. We're going to start off with running the now drill. You guys have seen us run the now drill before, but for this specific drill on the Hellcat, I'm going to run through 3 full mags with the now drill. So this is going to be 3 full mags. We're going to see if we can hold on to this little weapon through 3 full mags. All right, we're going to work through the mag changes and see if we can get it to malfunction. We are shooting steel case and also aluminum case ammo. All right, so if it's going to malfunction, it's going to malfunction. Now we're going to run this thing hot. Let's load and make ready. This is a small weapon to try to manage this rate of fire, so we're going to give it a go. All right, guys, gonna load and make ready. Again, you see how that magazine is so hard to get to seat. I mean, you really gotta slam it home because there's just no room left in there. All right, so here we go. Now drill. We're gonna run through 3 full mags as fast as we can possibly go and see how this Hellcat works. All right, man, that's the now drill. Super easy to hold on to this weapon because of that awesome texture on the grip. There's enough room with those 15 round mags and that 13 round mag to really get a nice full grip, get all your fingers on your inside hand wrapped around. Thought it was really easy to control. We tore the target up. We can show the target here in just a minute. I think we got 1 round out of the silhouette, but other than that, good to go. 0 malfunctions. Mag changes went pretty fast, actually faster than I expected. You do have to kind of move your pinky out of the way when you go to do a mag change. With this small little weapon, you're just not going to be as fast with a concealed carry weapon as you're going to be with a full frame combat pistol, but this one did the job. You could see it dropped those mags nice and smooth. I didn't have any issues getting on that mag release button. Easy day, no issues here. We're going to move back to the 25-yard line and we're going to test the accuracy of this weapon. Little short barrel paired with a good set of sights. Let's see how it does back at 25. All right, guys, so we're back here at the 25-yard line with the Springfield Hellcat. we're going to test the accuracy of this weapon. As you guys know, human error is always involved, but I'm going to go nice and slow and try to give this weapon the best opportunity it can possibly get. We're going to be shooting those small popper targets down there. Again, we have a really great set of sights on this Hellcat, paired with a not so good trigger. Trigger pull is super important back here at 25, so it's going to be interesting to see how well I can control that trigger, but I am confident we'll have no issues out of the sights. So I'm going to load and make ready, shooting at the small poppers, and we'll run a mag or two through this thing and see how it does back here at 25. All right, guys, I am super satisfied with the accuracy of this weapon. Obviously, we had a few misses back here at 25, not very many, maybe just 3. I didn't count, but probably about 3 misses. Now, for a weapon this small at 25 yards, to be able to nail those little poppers, those poppers are smaller than a human head. I think that's very impressive and speaks volumes for the accuracy of this weapon. If it was paired with just a little better trigger, I think it would be much better back here at 25. But as it is, satisfactory performance, if not above satisfactory performance at 25 yards with such a small little concealed carry weapon. The last test I want to run with this is I actually want to move up, and we're going to work a little with this smallest mag, this 11 round mag, and I'm actually going to shoot this with one hand only. And I want to see if I can get enough hand on that grip with this small mag to control this weapon shooting with one hand, both my strong hand and my weak hand, which is super important to be able to do. So we'll see you guys up on about the 7-yard line. All right, so we're here on the 7-yard line, and we are going to be working with our small magazine right here, so our 11 round mag, which has the least amount down here on the plate to get a hold of. I want to show you guys there is still enough, even with this small mag, to control this weapon with a single hand. All right, I think it's super important to test and practice shooting your weapon with your single hand only, strong hand and weak hand, just in case your other hand goes down. So this is a small weapon with a lot of power behind it with 9mm, and let's see how well we can control it. I have a round in the chamber right now. I'm going to insert that 11 round mag. All right, small popper targets. Very easy to control with my strong hand. I'm going to move to my weak hand now. Weak hand only. Very easy to control, even with that small 11 round mag. I have plenty of grip left to be able to get my whole hand on the weapon and control that recoil with a single hand. As you guys can see, with that 15 round mag, we have even more. We could get a nice solid grip right there, but with the 11 round mag, I just wanted to make sure there was enough to get your hand on it. So satisfied with that 100%. All right, last test we're going to run, I think, is going to be a mag change. I just want to focus on the fact that this mag release button is large enough to get on and to get that empty mag out. And when you do depress the magazine button, the magazine falls free. It doesn't really require a shake. I think that's due in large part to these stainless steel magazines. They slide out of that mag well very nicely. So I'm going to demonstrate a mag change for you guys just so you can see it actually works. We're starting with the small 11 round mag. Here we go. Easy day. Nice smooth mag change. Satisfied with that. So that's the Springfield Hellcat in a nutshell, guys. One thing we didn't talk about that this does have that the Glock 43 or the 43X doesn't have is a rail on the front, so you can put a flashlight on this weapon. So I wanted to add that in there. Again, we've got a great grip. We've got a okay trigger. The serrations on the back of the slide are unsat. We have a really great set of iron sights on this weapon, and it seems to be a nice, reliable concealed carry option. Super comfortable, super light, lots of options to get a lot of bullets in this little weapons platform, which is super, super important to everyone, should be, to me especially. So, great option, Springfield Hellcat. If you enjoyed this video, please share it, man. If you want to learn more about 307 Project, go to 307project.com. Come train with us sometime. Enough said.